Since the 6th gen Camaro's inception, the sales were never quite that of the 5th generation. It could be for a variety of reasons, like the built-up hype that the Camaro would return after being absent for 7 production years, or that Bumblebee sold the Camaro really well. Regardless of why the 5th gen was more popular than the widely acclaimed 6th gen, many Camaro fans, owners, and once prospective buyers have a few suggestions on how GM could radically change the Camaro and introduce the model to the masses. So it goes without saying that the 2019 Camaro facelift is the talk of the car world these past couple of weeks. Memes are running rampant, and admittedly I laughed out loud when I read a handful. My first impression was like literally every other major car YouTuber out there, we thought the 2019 Camaro facelift didn't look particularly great. Heck, it just looked, quote, different. The front reminded my friends and I of a Dodge Dart or perhaps a base model Charger on steroids. As for the rear, the lights looked worse in my opinion. It reminded me of some Billy Goat's eye slits. Maybe if I were to see this car in person, the look would grow on me. I mean, everyone hated the S550 Mustang when it first came out, saying it looked too European, and when the 2018 Mustang facelift came out, Jesus, that broke the internet as well. But now it seems like most people have accepted both versions of the 6th gen Mustang. Personally, I wished GM would have stuck with the same uniform body color across the front bumper for the SS model. The black bar kind of reminds me of Acura's silver or chrome beak nose, and we all know how those sales went. Terrible. Hence, Acura decided to make the brilliant design decision by completely ditching the awkward bar look in place of a more classy grille look. Not to mention the Camaro's facelift reminds me of the most recent Bumblebee in the Transformer movies. I don't think in this day and age does anyone intentionally want to look like Bumblebee, and as far as the 4-cylinder turbo or V6 Camaro facelift goes, it looks like they took a step backwards to the 5th gen look. Honestly, I thought the current outgoing design looked pretty darn sharp. However, the 2019 RS model looked rather bubbly or curvy. Anyways, looks aside, here are a handful of changes that GM must address for the 7th gen Camaro that I think we can all agree on. First and foremost, the visibility. I have addressed this in previous videos months ago, and this continues to be the complaint for the 2019 Camaro as the cabin has little to no change. This past week, I asked a handful of folks why they didn't choose the Camaro despite being interested, and without fail, the common complaint was visibility. GM ignored the complaints from the 5th gen owners when the 6th gen Camaro was being designed, and it looks like they'll probably continue to ignore those same complaints. GM, if you want to have more people be seen driving your Camaro, then make sure they can see out of your Camaro. Hell, it's not like we're asking for a whole lot. The Mustang addresses the visibility problem quite well to the point that most people don't complain about frontward or side visibility. Second, the trunk opening. Now, I get it. I know trunk space isn't necessarily a concern for your average sports car owner, but it's still nice to be able to carry some stuff like a medium-sized suitcase every once in a while. Unfortunately, GM made the trunk opening so damn narrow that it's nearly impossible to stuff anything practical in there. Sure, it's a good grocery getter, but it's nice to go to the airport and not have to worry about whether or not your suitcase can fit inside of the opening. Last but certainly not least, branding. This one is controversial as I am not an expert in marketing, but I can't help but feel like the Mustang makes you feel more special. When you sit in a Mustang, you're greeted with the iconic, distinguished Mustang horse that everybody recognizes. For instance, if I were to present simply the two icons from Ford, i.e. the Ford Mustang horse and the Shelby Cobra, I can almost guarantee you that most people would be able to recognize one of them or both. However, I can't say that about the Camaro. I mean, other than the obvious word being spelled out right in front of you, the Camaro simply had not been branded with an icon that was synonymous with itself. Take away the word Mustang and leave the horse, and you still know it's a Mustang. Take away the horse and leave the word Mustang, and people will instantly know that the symbol is that of an iconic galloping pony. The Camaro went through phases of the red, white, and blue badging, the trim level badging, the word being spelled out in all sorts of fonts. Just taking a quick Google search and you could tell that GM never really branded or badged the Camaro as well as they did with the Corvette. Apart from badging or branding, to me it also seemed like the Camaro lacked a personality and an identity. I'm sure we've all seen those comments where people say something to the effect of, quote, "A Camaro is nothing more than just a Corvette with a different body style." And to a certain degree, I think they're right. Now, I understand from a business standpoint, it saves GM a tremendous amount of money if they can roll over the same engine, the same transmission, the same electronics, modules, and hardware. Look, I'm not saying GM needs to radically or totally rehash an entirely new car, but something needs to stand out. It seems like the Camaro is in a perpetual cycle of always being both the little brother of the Corvette and the wannabe copycat Mustang. Also, just for kicks, I had to share this. For God's sake, there are basically 5 colors for the 2019 Camaro, whereas the Mustang has 13 unique colors. GM, you're really making it difficult to sell the Camaro to the general public. Anyways, my advice to GM for the 7th Gen Camaro would be to take a step back and stop focusing on the performance aspect so much. We all know you're going to borrow stuff from the Corvette anyway, so it'll be a monster no matter what. In the meantime, figure out how to make the Camaro a unique, better all-around sporty car like the Mustang, then maybe, just maybe, you'll have a winner in your hands. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching. In the comment section below, let me know what GM can do to make the 7th Gen Camaro better than the 6th Gen. Please stay tuned for more videos just like this in the coming weeks, and until next time, peace out.